Hi, Misha here, and it's time for another Gun of the Day episode. And I thought about making this a full video, but really, there's not enough to be said about it. And this was at least once my gun. This is the Romanian AKT98, which is one of the earlier 22 LR. And these were marketed as, in the literature of the time, AK trainers. And this one here, if you can tell by the serial number, is dated 2004. And back then they brought in two versions. They brought in an AKM style with a 16-inch barrel. And they brought in a quote-unquote RPK style that had a longer 22, I believe. I think it was slightly shorter than an actual RPK barrel. It might have even been a 20, but it was in between 20 and 22 inches. No. And this gun, when it came in, had black furniture, like this pistol grip here, but the wood was put on it. The RPK version had wood, but it had a clubfoot style buttstock. These were true imports. We have a Romanian 1.0mm receiver. It even has the magwell dimples. I'll talk about the mags in just a minute. We do have the XY stamps for the trigger pack. We have the scope rail. Interestingly, we have a smooth top cover. It's actually quite different from a standard one. It does take standard furniture though. The gas tube is interchangeable, but it's just there for the looks. Standard lower handguard, more or less standard rear sight. We have a 16-inch chrome lined, presumably even maybe hammer forged barrel, not sure. Cleaning rod under it, even has the demilled bayonet lug. You can even see a little bit of a lip where this one once had a lug. And then it has plenty of muzzle out here, unthreaded, so much like a SAR-1 or whatnot, you could thread one of these. And this is a simple blowback gun. It does not use the rotating bolt or gas piston, long stroke piston of an AK. Rather, it just has a simple blowback action. Notice I said the dust cover is quite a bit different. It comes down to the front here and goes back further, and your bolt throw is only back to here. The mags are interesting. Well, I think are only 10 rounds. It's been a while since I've had this. Hang on, guys, I'll pop it out. It would have been smart of me if I just grabbed the spare mag. There we go. But they're actually based the body style on the Romanian 223 mag. You can see the two holes in the bottom, which itself was based on the German Uyghur mag. They basically hollow them out and put in this little plastic insert on the top, which comes down to about yay far in the mag. And they are single stack, even though the mag itself, the body would be double. The magwell itself is a standard double stack looking, because essentially these were built on modified AK receivers, at least to some extent. But like I said, they're just straight blowback guns. Trying to get it open. There we go. There's our dust cover. Funnily enough, there's a small dent back here. It was that way when it was new. And people talk a lot about those synthetic blocks in modern Romanian imports, like the Mini Draco and the 9mm, but this one had one of those synthetic blocks way back when, and Well, it was made in 2004, so it's lasted over 15 years. There you see the bolt here. Notice there's no no gas piston, just a hollow tube. And yeah, when I originally bought this, I ordered it, I believe, out of SOG in 2004, maybe 2005. I was under the misconception these really were Romanian military, Romanian Army 22 trainers. It was only later I came to realize that these, along with virtually all other AK-22s out there, were, strictly speaking, sporting civilian guns. That doesn't take away from their coolness, but my father was always a big fan of 22s, and at the time had a lot of kids around because of Boy Scouts and 4-H, so he wanted it, so I traded him something for it, and he's had it, well, ever since. I probably traded it off to him around 2006, 2007, and he just brought it back by this week, and tomorrow it's going to a different friend. So it was just passing through for a day or two, and I thought, why not do a gun of the day on it? Because this was one of my early AK purchases. After getting the SAR-1 and SAR-2 and starting to develop appreciation for Romanian, I picked it up, but I was still early days. Information wasn't all that free on the internet like it is now, and I just didn't know a whole lot back then. But yeah, once I realized it really wasn't military, kind of just got rid of it, and more or less discovered that as a general rule of thumb, 22s just aren't really my thing. It's not all of them, but you know, I put like the MP5 22 or the STG 4422, and I would say they're pretty cool, fun guns. They're just not personally my cup of tea. But 3 years, cool. Like I said, this is going to a friend, so these are considered the AKT98s among the best Romanian 22s we've ever seen. Later on, we had guns like the Wasser 22. And even amongst all AK style 22s, these are definitely in the upper echelons. And I think it's because things like the receiver or modified originals, we presumably still have a steel front trunnion. I mean, the gun has the weight like a regular Kalashnikov. If it's any lighter, I can't tell. And the barrel has the right diameter, and it's all metal. All the sights and hardware are original. So they really did just grab off the production line parts. Again, when these came in, they had a black buttstock. It was actually pretty damn cheesy. And it had just a straight slab black handguard. But again, not a big deal since you could just put AK furniture. What is a bigger deal are the mags. Now, Black Dog has made US versions, but the originals, at least this one, when it came to me, it came with these two, and getting extras has always been a bit difficult. Another problem with a lot of these 22s in general, but the Romanians in particular, are the extractors. They're known for throwing extractors. And if that happens, good luck. Good luck getting another one. I mean, you might find a US reproduction, but as far as just showing you how it comes back and everything, that's all the bolt throw there is. But yeah, so those are a couple of the problem areas, plus the usual stuff with rimfire guns, not wanting to dry fire them and all that. It's also interesting, sometimes with mags, these run fine with the dust cover off, with the top cover off, but then when you put it on, because it restricts the movement even more, and it has this front flange, and it has this kind of inner guide for the bolt. Sometimes the dust cover, the top cover itself, can impact function. And I've seen this personally on 3 different guns of this nature, and I'm sure more are out there. But the top cover, as you can tell, is a custom-made part. It's not a military. But if you look back here, much of the rear trunnion, the recoil is a modified. The front chunk, of course, is set back, kind of like the 9mm you're used to. So that's a dedicated 22 part. But yeah, there's not really a military history or anything much to say about these. It's just a relatively early AK-22 22 import. And these tend to bring a little bit more money than your Wasser 22s. But even at that, you can still pick one up for, you know, 300 to 500 bills, depending on how much the owner thinks it's worth. Anyway, that is my gun of the day. If you own one of these or another AK-22, well, talk about them below. Here we are in month 2 of lockdown. We're getting into the 5th and 6th weeks of it, so hope everyone is doing well, not going stir crazy, and staying safe. This is Misha, and we'll catch you very soon next time.